Hello everyone, so this time we will tackle about the human and draft animal power. Okay, so for the outline of our topic, we have of course some definition of terms that we might encounter during the entire discussion of the topic, and then introduction regarding the human and draft animal power, and basic mechanics, human power, introduction again for the draft animal power, and then the mechanics of draft animal power, and lastly the factors affecting the animal performance. Okay. So first, let us have a simple definition of terms. So here they are. Let us define first what is energy. So energy, it says here by the DOSAT 1997, is the ability to do work. Again, energy is our ability to do work. So if you have energy, then you have the capability to perform a specific work. Okay, again, energy is the ability to do work required for doing work, and the body is said to possess energy when it has the capacity to do work. Okay, so later on we will have deeper explanation regarding this energy. Okay, but for the power, it is the rate at which the energy is used. Okay, so say your body, or I mean the body has an energy. So when you use that energy at a specific time, that is the what we call power. Again, power is the rate at which the energy is being used. Again, power is the rate at which the energy is being used. Okay, so when you use the energy at a specific time or at a certain period of time, then it is called power. Okay, did you follow the difference between the energy and the power? Again, the energy is your ability or your capability to do work, wherein power is that when you use that energy at a specific time, then you have the what we call power. Okay. For the last definition, we have here the farm power and energy sources. So this farm power and energy sources here is a study that deals with the basic principles of energy sources. So later on we will discuss the different energy sources. So where can we get the energy? For example, for a human, we get our energy from the food we eat. For the animals also, of course, we I mean the source of their energy is from the food they eat, and so on and so forth. So that is the energy sources. And these farm power and energy sources here also study that deals with the power conversion. Okay. For example, from mechanical power, you convert it to have your electricity, and of course, its utilization in farm for its operation. So where can we utilize, or where can we use this power to do a specific job on our farm, or to do a specific job during different farm operations, like during planting, during your harvesting, during your growing season of your harvest, or your flax, or your livestock, and so on. Okay, so again, you need to remember these three definitions here. The power, wherein when you use your energy at a specific time, then you have your power. Then for energy, it is our ability to do work. So when you have the capability, then you must possess an energy. Okay. And lastly, the study of the basic principles regarding the energy sources and its utilization and conversion. We have here the farm power and energy sources. Okay. So after we define some terms, let's now proceed to the simple introduction regarding our topic. So here, we have here, as you can see here at the pictures, it only shows that in every agricultural operations, like here mulching, or here during threshing, and other agricultural operations, it might be harvesting, it might be irrigation or irrigating your field, and so many agricultural operations. So here in every agricultural operations, energy is needed to perform a task, isn't it? So if you don't have energy, then you cannot perform that specific task. Either you do it manually by human, you use the labor, or whether you use the animal or machineries. So you need this energy to perform the task. Again, every agricultural operations needs energy in order for us to finish this specific job or to finish this specific agricultural operations. Okay, for example, in land preparation, the implements need to be pulled. Okay, so we need to pull the tillage, or the tiller, so that we can do the tillage action, or so that we can perform tillage. Okay, so another one is during harvesting, the the combine harvester, the cutter bar, the rotating or the reciprocating cutter bar there needs to oscillate in order for it to cut the stalks of the rice for the cutting action to be performed. Okay, so that harvester or that combine harvester needs energy to perform that specific task. Okay, so in this topic we will discuss different power sources primarily used in agricultural operations. So there are four primary sources of power. Again, what is power? It is the use of energy at a specific time. Okay, so there is a time constraint here when we say power. This is the how much energy are you going to use for that specific agricultural operation to finish the job in that certain time. So that is what we call the power. So there are four primary sources of power. We have here the human power, the draft animal power, wherein we will discuss here this first two here, the human and draft animal, and then we also have here another sources of power, the engine and the electric motors. Okay. So the human power here is the lowest among the four sources. But remember, it can perform some agricultural operations that require low power requirement. When you say low power requirement, it needs a lesser energy at a specific time to do this specific job. Example, picking tomatoes. What else? And so many other examples. Again, it can perform agricultural operations that requires low power requirement, or to attain if we need or we need to attain high power output means that you need more energy at a specific time to perform that task. You can hire or you can increase the number of humans to perform the task. Okay, so instead of doing it alone, since you need more energy and more time to do a specific task, like for example here you need to finish the job of fertilizing your field. Okay, so it needs a lot of power to finish the job ahead of time. So instead of using one um, one human power, you can now increase the number of laborers, or you can now hire 2 persons, 3 persons, 5 persons, and as much as you want to increase the output to be performed by that specific laborers. Okay. Okay. So in here you can see at the picture that the almost most of our agricultural operations, from planting to crop protection, crop protection like weeding, like applying fertilizer, herbicides, weedicides, and whatsoever during crop growth, during irrigating your field, applying what else? During harvesting, picking, or here at the specific picture, he carries a bulk of water. Okay, during transportation, to transport, for example, your harvest, the bags of, or bands of palay, you carry it on your back. So most of our agricultural operations or agricultural task can be done by human, especially the low power requirement can be you can use the human power. Another primary sources of power is the draft animal power. But okay, for the draft animal power here, draft animal power can provide greater power than humans. Of course, they are stronger and has more energy and power than humans. It has been used to, for example, for pulling implements, especially during the land operations or during the transport of your goods and services. And what else? Yan. Draft animal usually is the source of power during particularly during the land preparation and during the transportation. Some of them are during the like for example here in our picture here they uses draft animal power to thresh the grain. So they are the animal trampled on the grain to lose the grains from its stalk. Okay. So these primary sources of power here, the human and animal, draft animal, is our main topic here in our lecture. Okay. However, those two, the human and animals, have of course the psychological reactions, and they are bound to their psychology, or they have emotions, or they react to environmental conditions. So it might affect the power output that they can provide. It can increase or decrease depending on the environmental conditions they have. Okay. So on the next video, we will discuss the rest of the topic, particularly for the engine and the electric motor for the introduction. Okay, see you on our next video.